American women have taken an increasingly active role in public life during the last century. They worked hard to win the right to vote and finally succeeded with the passing of the 19th Amendment in 1920. Many women have worked for candidates in political causes, and some have served in elected offices on the local, state, and national levels. But one could hardly say that today's women dominate or even lead in any area of law or politics. Women are still a functional minority, though they actually outnumber the men in our population. Recently, a number of women's organizations have asked for change, calling attention to inequities based on sex throughout our society.
Well, of course, women don't really have any rights. The 14th Amendment has never been applied to give women equal rights, equal protection under the law. She doesn't have any rights. Only the right to vote and the right to hold public office. Those are the only two rights that the Constitution of the United States guarantees her. On everything else, she is protected by the law of the Middle Ages, the common law of England. She had no rights.
It's not generally known by women, the fact that they have so much discrimination against them legally, that they're not protected by the 14th Amendment or the due process law.
Of course not.
And like the black movement, like the civil rights movement, there has been a kind of awakening in which women are beginning to learn that the legal discriminations with respect to work, with respect to the whole court scene, is really highly discriminatory.
I think that younger women, people who are more closer to my age, who are just now coming out into the job market, are being radically awakened to the great discrimination that goes on. I think especially the things that affect us now, such as equal pay for equal work and salary differentials based merely on sex as opposed to job status or the type of job you do. And I think that a lot of younger women, as they're finding out about this, I've noticed, are not accepting this as much as women have in the past. I think this is also a reflection of the growing awareness that's occurred in the past 10 years of the discrimination against women. And I suspect that as this becomes more generally known, you're not going to have the acceptance and the lack of awareness that you have in the past.
A majority of the population now says that they would be willing to consider a woman as president. But
Is that a fact?
That's
Yeah, that's right.
But I think that it will be a great deal longer before either of the major parties is willing to do that. And it might well be that if you took a survey sample of people who were officers of those major parties, you would find a great difference, and it would be a very small minority of that group that would be willing to consider a woman as president.